Laura Babcock, a 22-year-old university graduate, was killed in July 2012 by Dallen Millard, 32, and Mark Smich, 30. Dallen Millard and Mark Smich are already serving life sentences with no parole for another murder. The family of Babcock, whose body was never found, reportedly said in a statement that they learned to hate after her murder. Millard and Smich will not be eligible for parole for 40 years. Ontario Superior Court Justice Michael Code called the consecutive sentences proportionate and just in this case. A Toronto jury convicted the men in her killing last December. The heir, who acted as his own defense lawyer in a victim impact statement earlier this month, Babcock's family said the men had made us hate. We always taught our children not to use the word hate. It is too horrible and destructive, but you men have made us hate, they said. We've learned to hate. Prosecutors said during the trial that Millard wanted to get out of a love triangle with the young woman. They argued that Millard and Smich shot and killed Babcock and used an animal incinerator to get rid of her remains. An animal incinerator was also used by the two men to burn the body of Toronto area man Tim Bosma. The duo killed the 32-year-old father after answering an advertisement Bosma posted in an attempt to sell his truck. Millard faces another first-degree murder charge for allegedly killing his father in November 2012. He is to stand trial again in April. Laura Babcock meets Dallen Millard and they date briefly around 2008-2009. In the eyes of Ontario's government, murder victim Laura Babcock is both alive and dead, and nobody is giving her family straight answers about how to navigate that paradox. The 22-year-old Toronto woman was murdered in 2012 and her family is still trying to have her officially declared dead years after her killers were convicted of murder. That way, stark reminders like a voter registration card, which arrived in the family's mailbox, don't keep showing up. Premier Doug Ford's office says it's aware of the issue and is trying to address it. Only a legislative change can fix the problem, leaving a flummoxed family searching for answers with little help to figure out an exceptionally complex and rare legal process. Until Wednesday, no one from the coroner's office nor the Ministry of the Attorney General had spoken to the family about what was happening with the issue, said Linda Babcock, Laura's mother. I had been told nothing, she said. Officials from the ministry have confirmed to CBC News that a court-ordered declaration of death issued to the family in August means Laura Babcock is now on record as deceased. However, the coroner's office still cannot issue a death certificate and have the woman officially registered as dead because her remains were never recovered. It's a very, very unusual case, said Natasha Gauthier, Elections Canada spokesperson in a statement. Our government is currently looking at ways to address this issue and will have more to say in the coming months. We're still working through policy options, Yellick said in an email. Babcock was one of 3 people who died at the hands of Dallen Millard, 34, of Toronto. He was also convicted of first-degree murder in the death of his own father, Wayne, as well as Hamilton man Tim Bosma. Mark Smich, 32, of Oakville, Ontario, was also convicted of first-degree murder in the deaths of Babcock and Bosma. Babcock disappeared back in 2012, and Millard and Smich were convicted of her murder in 2017. 2 voter cards addressed to a murder victim. Babcock's parents first received a voter card addressed to their daughter before the 2018 provincial election, and were then shocked to learn that their daughter had not officially been declared dead. That's because the coroner's office was not able to issue her death certificate. 2 of the things that must be recorded as part of that process are cause of death and manner of death, according to the coroner's office, and neither was possible without a body. That forced the Babcock family to go to court and ask a judge to officially declare her dead, even though 2 men were already serving life sentences for her murder. Linda Babcock said that her understanding of the process was she would then have to get a lawyer, go to court again with the declaration of death and petition the coroner's office to officially register her daughter's death. But the coroner's office and the ministry say they believe that order means, in the eyes of the court system, Babcock is legally considered dead. That is my understanding, said Cheryl Mahir, spokesperson for the Office of the Chief Coroner, in an email. Laura Babcock has been officially declared dead by the courts, so as far as I am aware, her estate can now be administered. Yet, bizarrely, Babcock is still not officially registered as dead, because the legislation does not allow the coroner to issue a death certificate without examining any remains. The only way the coroner could register Babcock as dead and totally close the door on this situation is if there was some sort of change in the legislation. It has to be a change in the law that allows them to do this, Babcock's mother said. The situation reared its head again when Babcock's parents received a voter card for their daughter for the upcoming federal election. In a statement, Elections Canada offered sincere apologies to the family. "We're very sorry for this family's loss, and that this error occurred," said spokesperson Natasha Gauthier. "We understand how upsetting this can be." She said voter information cards are mailed to anyone on the national database of Canadians who are qualified to vote, a list that is around 27 million people long. That list is continually updated with information from many sources, Gauthier said, including vital statistics agencies, driver's license bureaus and other electoral agencies. But there is also a time lag between when a death happens and when the register is updated, she said. It can take up to 9 months for that notification to reach Elections Canada. Court-ordered declarations of death, such as the one the Babcock family has, are not usually one of the sources of information that feed into and update the registry, Gauthier said. Usually, a family member would need to provide documentation like a death certificate to Elections Canada to prove a family member is dead and get them off the list. "In these circumstances, we just went ahead and took this woman's name off," Gauthier said. "It's a very, very unusual case." The baffling complexity of this situation hammers home the fact that the legislation here needs to change, Babcock's mother said. It has left a grieving family with yet another issue to navigate. Everything should be taken care of at the time of the sentencing. It would be done, she said. Babcock wants to see a legislative directive in situations where a murder has taken place where the coroner's office can accept a conviction as a judgment that a person is dead, even without a body. That way, all this mess could be avoided, she said. Victims of murder should be declared deceased at the time of the trial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so that you get notifications anytime we post new videos. Also remember to like, share and leave a comment on this issue. Thank you.